article. Let me see.
Someone else wrote the article.
Oh, so okay. Someone else wrote about WWE. It says the topic of some wrestlers have plans to get on OnlyFans once they leave WWE. And I know in this article they specifically quote you that you're basically the pioneer and the kind of the woman to copy the blueprint. Well, how do you feel about that? And what was your reaction about that? And I know you get a lot of questions about that. So first off, what was your reaction when you read this article?
Well, I mean, technically, I am the blueprint for this. I wouldn't even say copy because no one else did it before me.
No, it says that you are the blueprint.
Yeah,
you are the person who they want to copy and emulate now.
Right. So,
it actually says Mandy Rose changed the game completely.
Yes.
That's one of the quotes.
Tell the people. So,
oh, babe, you changed the game completely. So, how do you feel about that? And what is your message to these young, I like to call them young entrepreneurs in a sense that they are their own entity, right? We are 1099s. We are our own business. So what would you say out there to these women that they have a great platform? And what would your advice be to them now?
Well, knowing what I know now, and obviously, never had these intentions of I never had a plan that this was what I was going to get into, what I was going to, end up doing for a long time or whatever it may be. Nothing was planned, but knowing what I know now is the more I sit here and, dabble in the success that I've had. And obviously I'm very grateful for everything that, WWE, the platform and what it's presented, obviously my following and all that and the following I had prior to WWE, but it just goes to show as a broad spectrum, mine's a little more specific, my story, but for anyone in sports and the whole NIL and where that has come to now, having, knowing that your name, image, and likeness is so powerful. I don't think a lot of athletes or entrepreneurs or, professional wrestlers or whatever it may be realize what they're worth while they're in it. Because they're kind of under, they're not able to do everything that they want to do. They're growing. They're working to become, better every day, and they don't know the level of success they're going to get to. And obviously, in professional wrestling, it's a little different too, when you're kind of controlled a little bit more, and not really. There's not really a base off pure athleticism or pure you know what I mean. WWE's very different when it comes to that. But in other sports too, I think it just goes to show that it's where we are today in today's day and age of social media and what you can do on social media and all the platforms. And it's not just, the subscription-based platforms that we use, but it's everything in general. So it's the biggest take home that I noticed with the other girls that I've helped, after WWE or after wrestling in general is that you make good money while you're there, but then you make more money when you're out of there, when you're done with it, believe it or not, because afterwards is where you are not under control of what you can and cannot do. You can do whatever you want, and you just you notice your worth then, because you're able to collect all the money that comes in and not give out all these percentages. I mean, obviously you have teams that help you with all these, but there's so many things involved. But now it's you're able to, I don't know, you see the girls, they're making way more money than they did when they were in WWE.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. When you are extremely successful in one category, it does open up a lot more doors if you play your cards correctly.
Right.
And I think what that article was even talking about was the world has changed in a sense of social media is so powerful these days. It's such a marketing tool to get any kind of career path that you want to go down. And the subscription-based platforms, just like we just talked about earlier in the show, that's what UFC is going to now, right? They're not doing pay-per-views. They're going to do subscription-based month-to-month platforms, and that's where it is. So, these young women that I saw the article, and I think we go back and we've talked about this before. The women that are in WWE, they work their whole life to get there. So they think it's the pinnacle and the end-all, be-all. And it's not the end-all, be-all. It's an incredible opportunity to be in such an amazing organization. But also, it's a means to an end. It's going to end at one point. You just got to make sure that you, like you just said, your image, you market yourself correctly where you can veer off into some other kind of categories and become very successful as your own entities, your own brand, because you did put a lot of work in making who you are in that industry. Just like you were big in the fitness world, then you were big in the WWE world, and all that has catapulted you to make money outside the ring and outside fitness because you grew such a big fan base with all your hard work and success. And I think it's a positive thing for these women to kind of look forward to and not be a negative thing when they get released or their contract's up, because we all go through that depression when, oh my God, what's next? It's over. And I had the same thing in the NFL. I had the same thing when I got WWE as well. So it's something that it's refreshing when you see an article like that these women have big opportunities when they leave the industry.
Right. And I think it's kind of a good thing in a sense of like lessening the bad stigma that like OnlyFans has, right? So I feel like everyone thinks right away when they hear it like, oh, they think bad, right? And it's not bad. There's levels to everything, right? So there are crazy things that people do on there. And then there's things that, people have a direct relationship with their fans on there. And they're able to have this platform where the fans can feel like they are with you at all times and following you around and, coming with you to the gym and coming to photo shoots and seeing them more behind the scenes, but it's just more exclusive. So OnlyFans has that bad stigma. But I think this is almost like, I'm hoping too, that like it's kind of steers away from that a little bit, because it's like, that's not really like, it's really for creators. Like we do like OFTV now is becoming really big, and like we do videos for them.
Yeah,
and
a couple features on
I had a
OFTV,
couple features and
doing gymnastic stuff.
Yeah,
Ninja Warrior.
So it's just creating a platform that you're able to have this direct relation, but it's anything. There's other ones out there. There's passes, there's fan time, there's all these subscription-based platforms that, just because OnlyFans has this bad stigma because of the name, it's not.
That's
always
just people
bad.
like we talk about. That's just people talking shit and people being negative. But like you just said, you control the narrative, so you can do whatever you want to do, right? But here's the thing: I just want to bring up that you just said something that's very interesting to me. You just said it allows your fans behind the scenes, and they love that, right? Mm-hmm. What did WWE just come out with on Netflix like the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, the Unreal.
They came out the behind the scenes, and there's actually old timers like Paul Heyman. I saw an interview. They don't like it because that wasn't the culture that they grew up in, right? But now they're pulling the curtain back and they're letting you behind the scenes in WWE. But why are they doing that? Because they see money in that.
Of course.
They see that fans want that, being connected to that. Yep. Just like an OnlyFans and just like Fan Time and all these other websites. It's not just the negative stigma of people, there's porn on there, there's nudity on there. Like, we know what you can hold the narrative, whatever you want to do or don't want to do. And the women have that control. And I think for your sake was the fan just wanted to get to know you.
Right.
And that's why you've done so well without going to parts that you did not feel comfortable going to.
Right. And as a creator, like, people want to sit there and be like, oh, well, you could just do that on Instagram. It's like, no, like it's a business, just like everybody else is out there, wants to make money, and it's a business. And at the end of the day, if we can charge a specific amount every month and have our fans who are in that circle be entitled to, have that exclusive right to be, with Mandy Rose and Mandy Sacs, whatever, and around me, and see, what I do on a daily basis, and see a little more exclusivity of things. Like, why not have that? So I just feel like it's a great opportunity. But I do think, I wonder, like, with these articles that come out, because this article came out because basically Elena Black, also known as Cora Jade, released something that she was taking a break from wrestling. And I'm good friends with her, obviously. And I think people right away think, oh, she's taking a break from wrestling because she's probably doing so well on OnlyFans. Yeah, she's doing well on OnlyFans, but people don't realize the amount of like stress and like physical and mental stress that it puts on you, wrestling around, going to different shows and all that. And some people, they need a break. It's almost like they're attacking her right away. Like, oh, how much money are you making? And people are asking. It's like, that stuff gets annoying because nobody sees, what the real reason is why she's taking a break, instead of being like, oh, how are you doing? I hope your health is okay.
Maybe she needs a mental reset.
A break or a reset. Yeah.
So you know what, again,
but it's
kind of like we talked about before. Social media has made a lot of tough men and women that sit behind screens and talk shit all day. So that's why you can't even get caught up in all that.
No, you can't. But, that article was, kind of cool because it was like,
you're like the pioneer.
I'm the pioneer,
You are.
So, you know where to go. You know where to go when that phone call comes. Because
call
listen,
Mandy Rose.
I got it down. I got the blueprint. It sets you up. You'll be, multiplying your year contract in a month minimum. Trust me. I tell you that.